You check the high rank with confidence. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you check the high rank with confidence. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, I'm confident wherever I go. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say I'm confident wherever I go. Now, the reason why I'm still talking about the high ranks or whatever the case is, y'all, is because oftentimes there are not only just wickedness in high places, but there are people who hand your checks out in high places. There are people who have to coach you in high places. There are people who you have to answer to in high places, and the list goes on and on and on. But it does not mean that they're better than you. It does not mean that they're more qualified. It does not mean that they're more competent. All right. It just simply means that they have a position, a status, or some type of area where they are dominant in. All right. Doesn't mean that they are better. Okay. However, y'all, the reason why I say you check them with high confidence is because you knew what you were talking about. You were confident in yourself, and you knew what angle to take, all right, when it came to dealing with them. That takes a chess player. That takes an analytical thinker. And that takes somebody who understands the game of life, all right, and the psychology of human beings. So it doesn't matter how high a person sit or how low a person lay. All right. When you have that type of mentality and intelligence when it comes to psychological or the psychology of humans and just understanding the game of life, you're going to be undefeated, unbeatable. Okay. And even if you are beat, it's still not a loss. It's a lesson. You dig what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments to let me know. You just checked the high rank with confidence. You ain't feel bad. You didn't feel unsure. You didn't feel like I was uncertain. Okay. Were they pleased? Did I do something wrong? You check them with confidence. And that's what I want to speak about within this video. Okay. But first thing is first, y'all, how y'all doing, man? Drop in the comments and let me know how y'all feeling. We are now on the Reno Speaks Life channel. Okay. So y'all make sure y'all drop in the comments. Let me know what's going on. Secondly, y'all, be sure to leave a thumbs up on my video as well as subscribe to the channel. And of course, y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. All right. I'm probably preaching to the choir, y'all, if y'all watch my video on the Reno Speaks Riches channel. But y'all know I'm about to get ready to grill after I get done with this video. I'm gonna enjoy nature today. For those who want to know what I'm grilling, I said it before, but I'll say it again since we're on the new channel. But I'm grilling some ribs. I'm grilling some smoked chicken wings. I'm gonna do some smoked chicken wings, and I may even throw some sausages on there, y'all. I'm a country boy, so I just like to grill. I like the art of grilling, just having things on that griller or the smoker and just watching it smoke, watching it turn black, watching it, I just love it, y'all. I love the smell of it, okay? But anyway, y'all, that's how my day going right now. I ain't gonna get into all my jazz. Like I said, drop in the comments, let me know how y'all doing, and we're gonna get right into this banger. Number one, y'all, let's get right into it. Fear became the fuel, okay? Fear became the fuel. Well, Reno, I thought we wasn't supposed to have fear. Family, that's just how human beings are set up, period. I don't care if we're talking about your most gangster of the most gangster, the most mobbish of the most mobbish, all right, to a straight pipsqueak. Everybody have the same emotions. It's about how you manage your emotions. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. Manage your emotions. It is about how you manage your emotions, how you manage your time, how you manage your energy. It's all according to your management. All right. From working in corporate America to being inside of a cage fight. It's all about management. Management of your time, energy, and emotions. Okay. And so within that management, we feel what we call at times fear. All right. We all feel fear. Fear of, am I going to get my bills paid? Fear of, am I going to have enough to take care of my kids? Fear of, am I going to lose my house or my apartment? Fear of, am I going to lose my relationship, my best friend, my membership, my subscription? It don't matter, y'all. We all feel feelings of fear, right? However, the difference between a person who's the warrior and a person who's a regular citizen, Okay, I'm just throwing things out there. I'm gonna just say a regular citizen, a regular person, or whatever the case is. But the warrior and the regular person or the regular citizen is that the warrior push through. All right, the warrior feel that fear, but he use it as fuel. All right, the average person, the regular person, whoever it is, y'all, the regular citizen, they feel that fear and it turns into fuel, but they don't push through. It's fuel to turn back around. All right. And so when you check them, it was fear. However, you turned it into fuel to push through. That's why you are a warrior. Reno, what makes me a warrior? When you have resilience, perseverance, all right? When you are strong mentally, strong emotionally, when you're disciplined, all right? And when you make it through adversity. Listen, y'all, the true character of a man shows in the midst of adversity, which means when you are checking a high rank, all right, you have to show that in the midst of this adversity, I'm about to push through and you about to see what I'm really made of. So if I got to talk to you in a way, I'm going to do it. If I got to prove my point in the way, I'm going to do it. If I got to stand up for myself in the way, I'm going to do it. If I got to show or flex my knowledge, I'm going to do it. Whatever I got to do as a warrior, that fear is going to become my fuel to push through you instead of fear turning into fuel to turn back around. Does that make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Like, ultimately, what I'm saying, y'all, is that when you check a high rank with confidence, you may feel a sense of fear because of where they sit, how much they have, what they got going on, all right? But in the midst of that adversity, your character always show when you are a what? A warrior. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I'm a warrior, right? Number 2, you're naturally competitive, okay? You're naturally competitive. Family, I'm not talking about the secret competition. I'm not talking about I'm competing because I'm envious. I'm not talking about I'm competing because I want to be like my friend or I want to be like my manager. No. When I say you are naturally competitive, you're naturally a person who want to get better. You're naturally a person who learns from someone who's better. You naturally are a person who gains information and knowledge, not to just flex it, but to be better than where you were the first time in that classroom on that mat. You know, y'all, I'll tell y'all this. I've been using a lot of fighting and Muay Thai analogies because that's where my head been and that's what I've been training. I told y'all I've been training for some time now, but it's been inconsistently, but I've been trying to stay focused on that, right? But long story short, y'all, you know, whatever you are around, you become it, right? So that's why I've been using a lot of fight analogies. But anyway, in Muay Thai sparring, right, when it comes to that, I naturally have a competitive spirit. So I very rarely go against people who I know I'm better than. It's not because, you know, I feel like I'm superior or because I feel like I can't learn anything. In life, you need these 3 people. Somebody who's underneath you, a person who's on your level, and somebody who's above you. You always gonna need that, right? However, I try my best to go with people who are better than me in Muay Thai sparring, which means they may get more licks on me than I do them. All right, guess what I'm learning though? Defense. All right. That means that they may get their ish off a little bit more than I'm able to get my ish off. But guess what that means for me? That means that I'm able to learn, pick up on having quicker reflections, all right? Being able to anticipate what my partner is going to do. Are y'all following what I'm saying? That's a naturally competitive person, which means I'm going to be more prone to check a high rank, all right? Whether that's in Muay Thai or that's the manager in life. I'm naturally competitive. Family, the reason why you check that high rank with confidence is because you're naturally competitive. A person who's not naturally competitive, they're going to go with the flow. They're not going to challenge authority. They're not going to do anything different. They just pretty much sheeps, all right? They just pretty much sheeps. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I ain't no sheep. And that's one thing that I can never be, y'all. All right? I don't care if it was school. I was never a sheep. I always ask questions. You know, I never blindly followed something, especially if it didn't make sense. If it don't make sense, make it make sense for me. And if you can't, it's something shady underneath it. You get what I'm saying? But When you're naturally competitive, y'all, just like with the Muay Thai sparring, you're gonna take the lessons from what may come off as a loss. All right, you're gonna take that as a lesson because you're naturally competitive. You're trying to get better and learn, and this is when you are able to check a high rank. All right, with confidence because you're naturally competitive. Number three, no is not in your vocabulary. Okay, no is just not in your vocabulary. Like family, for me, y'all, I don't just settle with no. Okay, I don't just settle with not this time. I don't just settle with, we're not hiring, right? Which I don't work a regular job, but what I'm saying, y'all, is that I don't stop at the door that was closed in my face. Let me say that once again, y'all. I don't stop at the door that was closed in my face, all right? I'm finna talk to somebody higher than you. I'm finna go around the back door. I may even try to go through the window. I may send mail. I'm gonna do something. You're gonna have to tell me no more than one time. Now, guys, I ain't telling you to go out here and do this when it comes to women. No, you're going to become a creep, bro. You can't just be talking, I ain't going to take no for an answer. You're going to find yourself in handcuffs, bro. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I'm just saying in life, though, like in life, you can't just take a no. This is going to put you in a position to check a high-ranked person. Because most times, high-ranked people think they know more than you. And at times, they may do, but at times, they're wrong. All right? You may be the one that have to prove it to them. If not, you've already done it. I remember watching the interview with Nipsey Hussle, okay? And he was talking about, I make sure I stay up on my game when it comes to engineering and my producing because I like my music to sound a certain way. And sometimes the engineer may be tripping or they may be like, hey, man, we can't do that. He said, I remember this vividly. He was like, no. I tell him, nah, bro, I can do it. You move out the engineer seat and let me do it, right? But if you don't know how or if you accept no as an answer, your music is not going to sound how you want it to sound. You're going to stop at no. That's when you have to check a high-ranked person like, nah, man, it's more than one way to skin a cat. All right, it's more than one way to get it done. We don't just got to take the north way. We can go east, west, south. It's other ways to do it. And what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that no is not in your vocabulary. So when that higher up, that higher ranked person told you no, you found a way to show them that a yes can be said. A yes can be displayed for sure. And everybody don't have that in them. Some people, a lot of people in this world stop at no. You know how many people had big dreams, but they stopped at no? How many people wanted to do great things? They stopped at no. How many people wanted to change and transform their life? They stopped at no. You follow what I'm saying? That's the difference between you, chosen one. You checked a high rank with confidence, and you was okay with doing it. Number 4, they underestimated your capabilities, intelligence, and courage, all right? They underestimated your capabilities, intelligence, and courage, all right? Going back to my fighting analogies, y'all. I know y'all getting tired of me by now, but I got to do it. Boxing and Muay Thai, okay? I used to didn't have the respect for boxing that I do with Muay Thai. And the reason why is because I always felt that if a person know how to kick, knee, elbow, you know what I'm saying, teep, do all these different things, what can a boxer do with a Muay Thai fighter, right? And it hit me when I was training boxing the other week. Number one, a boxer they're in a whole nother conditioning bracket, okay? If you want to be a boxer, half of being a boxer is knowing how to jump rope for a long time. You better have endurance. I think a boxer go 9 rounds in the ring, if not more, okay? If not more. But what I'm saying, y'all, is that a boxer is in a whole nother bracket when it comes to conditioning, right? A Muay Thai fighter is bad. Oh, he a bad boy. Now, he kick, he knee, he elbow, he do all type of things. However, y'all, this is what I want you to understand. A Muay Thai fighter can be neutralized with expertise boxing, which means if that Muay Thai fighter go in the cage or the ring acting like, yeah, bro, I got it. Yeah, this what I do. Yeah, I kick. Man, he getting there with a Terrence Crawford. He getting there with somebody at his weight class, and they nice. He'll get neutralized. Reno, what are you saying right now? This is a prime example of underestimating the capabilities, the intelligence, and the courage of something or someone. You get what I'm saying? Never underestimate boxing, y'all. It's a real thing. But the point is not about boxing. It's about yourself. They underestimated your capabilities, intelligence, and courage because they thought that they were superior in whatever they were doing or, around the environment, whatever it was, y'all. Number 5, the last thing is going to be this right here. Believing in yourself, okay? I know it may sound cliche, but I got to say it. Believing in yourself. Family, you take a football team that's superior and they're known, right? Everybody know them for having a great defense, a great offense, and they just superior in all ways. You take a football team who's unknown, inferior in so many different ways, and, nobody knows them, right? Chances are, if they don't believe in themselves, that superior football team is going to do what it does best, which is tackle, make interceptions, score touchdowns, win football games, all right? However, y'all, if you believe in yourself and you put the right amount of competence with hard work and consistency and match everybody's skill set, that unknown team will fall down, and it can fall down. We seen this with David and Goliath. Yeah, everybody thought that David was some skinny boy. He was a shepherd boy. He didn't have nothing but a slingshot and a rock. David fell down. You can knock down giants, especially when you're talking about walking with the Most High. You can knock down giants, especially when you got that divine gift. You can knock down giants, especially when you are a person who believe, right? You believe who you are, not only in your mind, but within your heart. That's why it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, family, this is why you check the high rank, all right, with confidence, because you believed in yourself. You believed in yourself, all right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, I believe in me, all right? And so whether that was you checking the high rank in the family, on the job, at the gym, all right, on the court, whatever it was, y'all, you checked them and you did it with confidence because you believed in you, all right? Stop thinking that people's ability is better than yours because they come from this magical or special land or planet. No, they don't. They bleed just like you and put on their pants 1 foot at a time. All right. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here after doing this recap, and then we'll conclude this video. Number 1, y'all, fear became the fuel. Okay. Number 2, you're naturally competitive. Number 3, no is not in your vocabulary. Number 4, they underestimated your capabilities, intelligence, and courage. And number 5, y'all, believing in yourself, okay? With that being said, family, get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.